Hey guys, Angus here. Got another Airsoft gun review for you guys today. Today we're going to be taking a look at an absolutely awesome Airsoft pistol. This is the CyberGun licensed Tanfoglio Gold Custom CO2 BlowBack Airsoft pistol. This gun is OEM'd by KWC, and if you're interested in purchasing it after you watch this review, there will be a link down below in the description to airsoftstation.com where you can buy it for about $140. Now with that being said, as I stated earlier, this is an absolutely awesome looking pistol. It's completely badass and does include that bright silver scope mount as well. I really like this gun despite my overall dislike of pistols. So let's go ahead and get into the review. Let's start off this review by going over the gun's packaging. Like anything licensed by CyberGun, your KWC Tanfoglio Gold Custom CO2 BlowBack pistol will come in an overly flashy box covered in a bunch of bright pictures, bright writing, as well as that ridiculous feet per second of 453. That's current with .12 gram BBs. If you want to see an accurate reading of the gun with .2s, be sure to check out the chronograph video also posted on this channel. When you open up the box, this is what you should see. The gun is packaged actually pretty well inside some nice gray thick styrofoam. Inside the box you have your Palco Sports warranty registration card as well as your gun's user's manual. The manual is fairly simplistic, really just a sheet of paper, but it does tell you everything you need to know, such as how to put your CO2 in as well as how to access your hop-up. Then you'll have a large plastic bag containing a large Allen key for inserting your CO2 as well as a spare seal. Then there'll also be another small plastic bag containing an Allen key for adjusting your hop-up, as well as a small box of CyberGun .2 gram BBs. And of course, your Gold Custom CO2 BlowBack Airsoft pistol itself, as well as the gun's 18-round metal magazine. Now as you can see with this thing out of the box once again, it truthfully looks awesome. So let's go ahead and hop right into the external quality of this pistol. Now when the box says full metal construction, they are not lying. This gun is basically 100% composed of a solid metal component. The frame of the pistol is metal, the scope mount is metal, the safety is metal, the hammer is metal, the slide lock is metal, etc., etc. The only piece of the pistol itself that isn't metal would be its orange tip, which is just a cheap piece of orange plastic. It's there for US regulation. I don't think the gun has threads, by the way. Now the magazine itself is metal as well, but there is one very important plastic piece, and that would be the lip of the magazine. As you can see, it's different than the chrome metal itself, it's actually black. The reason that's important is because the plastic isn't as strong as the metal. And if it does snap, you're kind of out of luck. Your magazine's no longer going to be able to feed properly. So just be careful, don't be banging that mag around too much because you don't want that lip to crack. So externally, quite a bit of metal. The gun is rock solid, however, there is a bit of con to all that metal construction. Does make the gun pretty hefty. This thing weighs in maybe 3 or 4 pounds, so it's a bit heavier than your average pistols, which is to be expected given the fact that it is full metal, plus it has that big old scope mount on top. Another nice touch to the gun's external quality would be its trademarks. The gun does have some nicely painted on in white paint trademarks located on its left side. As you can see, state Tanfoglio Gold Custom. These are painted on rather nicely. However, the white trades on the right side of the pistol don't seem to be as nicely painted. These are just a quick KWC logo as well as a warning and a unique serial number, but I have noticed that they've kind of rubbed off a little bit and aren't as bright as they originally were. So just proof that these trademarks are rather nice right now, but they might not last forever after repeated and extended periods of use with this gun. Hopping right into some features here, one of the most important pieces on your gun that I need to discuss with you would be your weapon's magazine. Your Gold Customs magazine serves two purposes, the first of which is to hold your gun's ammunition. The magazine has a capacity of 18 6mm Airsoft BBs. That's a maximum. Comfortably the mag will hold maybe 15, 16 rounds, but you can squeeze those extra 2 in there if you really wanted to. Loading the magazine is the same as any other pistol mag. You want to pull down your spring, and you're going to have to hold it in place manually at the bottom of the mag, as there is nothing to hold it in place for you. When holding the spring down, simply drop your BBs into the mag. The lip is a bit funky, so unfortunately you have to load this thing by hand. You could use a speed loader, but either way, you're still going to need to use your pinky to push the BBs downward into the actual magazine itself. Total 18 rounds definitely will compete with the other magazine capacities of other pistols out there on the field. Talking a little bit about the magazine's construction again, as you can see it's painted rather nicely in a silver chrome finish and has a large silver gas release at the back to be hit by the hammer and therefore release gas and a BB. The magazine also holds your 12-gram CO2 cartridge. Inserting the CO2 cartridge is explained in the manual, so I won't go too in depth, but the basis is this. You're going to take your larger Allen key and unscrew the seal at the bottom of the magazine. At that point, you can drop your CO2 cartridge inward, nozzle of course, facing down. Once the cartridge is inside, you want to retighten the seal in place until the CO2 hisses, letting you know it's been released and the magazine is now flowing with gas. I dislike the magazines that use this type of seal system, being that eventually these strip out and you can't exactly tighten them anymore. Luckily, KWC did include a spare seal with the gun. Now when you've got your magazine loaded up with 18 BBs and also filled up with a fresh CO2 cartridge, simply slide it into the Gold Custom pistol like so, rack your slide back. I know some of you have been itching to see this thing fire, so let's go ahead and take a couple shots. When you've emptied your mag, you can simply eject the magazine by pushing in the large magazine release located on the left side of the gun just at the rear of the trigger guard. It's this rather large silver piece right here. It's pretty big, so you may accidentally hit it with your thumb, but I don't really think that'll happen. When you push it in, the mag simply drops out like so. As you clearly saw at the end of the shooting there, the gun does feature a functional slide lock. That's an awesome feature because it adds a little bit of realism, and it also gives you an easy way of telling when your magazine is out of BBs. The slide lock itself is this small metal piece right here. In order to release the slide lock, simply give it a push downward in order to release the slide to its original positioning. Now, an ultimately unique feature of the Tanfoglio Gold Custom would be the included bright silver scope mount. This is a pretty cool feature because now you can go ahead and place an optic on your pistol. And the best part is, it's included with the gun. There's no paying extra for it. Definitely looks cool. One con of it being that it is definitely a bright silver, might stand out in this woodland situation we are in right now, but otherwise gives you the option to customize your gun with, say, an optic like this one. As you can see, with the optic on there, gun certainly does look pretty unique. In case you're wondering, that's a Walter licensed multi-reticle red dot sight. The rail's certainly cool, being that it does allow you to customize your gun a little bit, put an optic up there. However, if you do use it, you kind of ruin the whole purpose of having your pistol in a holster, because frankly, not going to fit with a large optic on top. If you want to remove the rail altogether, you can do that as well. Those 4 brightly silver colored screws do come out in order to remove the scope mount altogether. Now with that scope mount on there, it's kind of hard to get your hands on the slide in order to rack it back. However, you don't have to worry about that, being that the gun almost has sort of a built-in charging handle located on it, towards the rear of the weapon, just in front of the hammer. This makes it so you don't have to get your hands on the actual slide. Simply wrap your finger here, pull back like so, in order to yank your slide back. Another key feature of the Gold Custom pistol would be its safety. As you can see currently, the safety is flipped downward so the gun is on fire. When the gun is on the fire mode, a bright white F will be revealed as well as a bright red dot. If you were to flip the safety upward so that a large white S is displayed, the gun is on safe and the trigger cannot be pulled. Remember to keep this thing on safe when you're not in a game. The safety is also ambidextrous, being located not only on the left side as previously shown, but also on the right side of the pistol, shown here. Alright, so with that being said, covered all the features on the gun, so let's go ahead and hop into the final conclusion of this review. Start off the conclusion by going over the gun's cons, which thankfully there aren't very many. The biggest and main con I can think of is the fact that most people are going to buy a pistol as well, a sidearm. They don't really want to run it as a primary, which is more so what I see this gun being used as. Because of its bulk and because of its size, it's not really going to fit in a holster too well. It's not going to serve a purpose as a sidearm. I could see somebody using this as a primary in a CQB game, or even being that guy out in the field running the pistol in the woodland style skirmish against the AEGs. So not exactly a sidearm style gun. It's a pistol, but it probably worked better as a primary. Second con I can think of would be the mag. I just hate those mags that use the seals, because eventually the seals do strip out, and then you gotta go in a mad dash to find more. Third and final con, the trades look great right now, but my experience with CyberGun trades is that eventually, since they're not engraved, simply painted on, they do fade off after a while, and eventually they're not even there anymore. So, cons, not too many, but there are some decent significant factors you want to factor in. Pros-wise, the gun's pretty darn cool, and that's the biggest pro of all. It's a unique pistol. It's not your standard M9 or your standard 1911. It's a doggone cool, unique gun. You get a lot of cool things with it, such as the 18-round magazine. It's more than enough BBs to compete with your other pistols, magazine capacities, as well as a full metal construction, an included scope mount that you can go ahead and customize your gun by placing an optic on top of, plus a cool little charging handle thing that you can pull back, rack your slide, as well as the standard features such as your functional slide lock and ambidextrous safety. Overall, I would personally recommend this gun because it's so unique. I'm a lover of unique guns, and the gold custom CO2 BlowBack pistol is definitely an awesome gun. If you're interested in purchasing it, it's $140 at AirsoftStation.com, and frankly, I think it's worth it. I would personally recommend this gun as not a sidearm, more so a primary if you're a CQB player, or possibly somebody like me who would go out there and use this as a primary in a woodland game. So thanks for watching, guys. Please subscribe.